All right, so first of all, thank you so much for your questions. I'm going to try to go through as many as I can. First of all, can you break down what's happening with the new pipeline in Alberta? Whoa, it is the political fight of the week, maybe of the month. Very sharp words of criticism being exchanged between BC's Premier David Eby and Alberta's Premier Danielle Smith. I think that means a major political headache for Prime Minister Mark Carney. Both of the politicians are kind of, the premiers in this case, are kind of punting this issue, as it would be the case with federal jurisdiction, to the Prime Minister. And Danielle Smith, the Premier of Alberta, has put a very specific timeline on it. Make a call on this pipeline by mid-November, when you've got that big list, the second list of major projects come out. So this is a very short window to deal with what I think is going to be a huge political issue for the federal government. So we'll wait and see what happens on that one. But real war of words, Danielle Smith calling Premier Eby un-Canadian in his desire to block that pipeline from happening, and Premier Eby calling Premier Smith basically like existing in a world that doesn't exist, or a fantasy world with a pipeline that actually hasn't been proposed formally by a proponent. The next question, what can we expect, from the budget? What should we look for? Oh boy. Well, first of all, budgets will now apparently be every fall instead of in the spring. This budget is less than a month away. The big number I'm obviously paying attention to is around the deficit. But I think the biggest thing outside of that number that will be important to figure out with this budget is, since they have promised to cut spending on the operations of government, what do they actually mean by that? Does it mean, for example, not just public servants, but also the programs that they function alongside? Like, are we looking at a world in which program spending is actually cut? That's the main thing I'll be watching for when the budget is tabled on November the 4th. And finally, has Prime Minister Carney indicated any changes to the Senate in terms of selection process for new senators? Simple answer there, not that I can recall. Thanks.